I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing.
Stephanie White was visibly frustrated after the Indiana Fever's tough loss to the Liberty. She publicly called out the referees, highlighting what many fans have been thinking: a staggering minus 31 free throw discrepancy over recent games. But the tipping point came in the final seconds, when a blatant no call on Caitlin Clark cost the Fever a chance to tie the game. White didn't hold back, openly questioning whether the WNBA's officiating system is even working anymore. In this video, we're breaking down the key highlights replays and every bit of evidence pointing to inconsistent calls. Drop your thoughts on the officiating in the comments below.
Then she holds her, watch this, with her shoulder and on her arm when she follows through and then fouls her for the 4th time on her arm. It's cheating. It's plain as day. The haters will say she got locked up. Yeah, if you're fouling the whole game. But I'm going through this entire game. The corrupt refs gave this game to New York and they still barely won.
Picture this: the Fever and the reigning champs trading blows like heavyweight contenders. Aaliyah Boston was dominant, dropping 27 points and grabbing 13 rebounds in a performance that felt unstoppable. Making her first start of the season, Lexi Hull stepped up in a big way, scoring 15 crucial points right when her team needed her most. This wasn't just a win. It was Indiana playing championship-caliber basketball. Clark, weaving through traffic after a chaotic scramble from a missed three, drove hard into the lane and finished with a smooth reverse off the glass, threading through defenders with signature poise.
A three off target, batted along, bodies on the floor. Clark 1-on-3 trying to split the defense, goes into traffic and reverses it off the glass. And a fearless Caitlin Clark here.
Watch how she uses her body to shield the defender. That's just beautifully done by Caitlin Clark.
Here's what truly showcased the Fever's potential. They outscored the Liberty by 17 points in the third quarter. Complete domination. It was a clear message that, when given a level playing field, Indiana can go toe-to-toe with the league's elite. Caitlin Clark faced everything the Liberty defense could throw at her: double teams, relentless pressure, and physical contact, and still delivered 18 points and 10 assists. Every time she drove to the rim, she absorbed contact without a whistle, while Liberty players were getting calls on far softer plays.
No pass shot possessions for New York. Clark, step back three. Oh, she hit it and draws the foul. Welcome back, Caitlin Clark.
Before the officials stepped in and changed the tone, the Fever held a solid 12-point lead in the fourth quarter. While the Liberty's comeback was fueled, in part by strong play, it was also aided by a series of questionable calls that completely shifted the game's momentum. Jonquel Jones poured in 14 points in that final quarter for New York, repeatedly driving to the basket and drawing fouls, calls that simply weren't going Indiana's way. The contrast was obvious to anyone watching.
Our third quarter was really, really good. Obviously, if we won the quarter by 17 points, that's what put us in a position to have a chance to win. So essentially, we really played one good quarter of basketball and lost to the defending champions by 2. So I guess that's positive. A lot of ways to continue to get better.
The Fever had already proven they could outplay the Liberty. So at this point, it wasn't about talent. It was about fairness. Indiana was delivering championship-caliber basketball. But the outcome began to hinge not on execution, but on officiating. Every whistle, or lack thereof, mattered. With the Fever leading by 2 and just 2.9 seconds on the clock, the game took a dramatic turn. The officials would ultimately decide the ending, and not in a way that reflected the effort on the court. Here's the moment everything unraveled. Caitlin Clark received the inbound pass with the game on the line. As she moved into position, Natasha Cloud made repeated contact. Before, during, and after Clark's shot attempt. It was the kind of obvious foul you see called all game long. But this time, silence. The referees let it go. A clear opportunity to tie, or even win, was erased, not by defense, but by a whistle that never came.
A three off target, batted along, bodies on the floor. Clark 1-on-3 trying to split the defense, goes into traffic and reverses it off the glass. And a fearless Caitlin Clark here.
Watch how she uses her body to shield the defender. That's just beautifully done by Caitlin Clark.
The replay clearly shows undeniable contact that should have sent Caitlin Clark to the line for 2 free throws. Shots that could have tied the game and forced overtime. Instead, the officials swallowed the whistle, denying her the opportunity and sealing the Fever's fate. What could have been a momentum-shifting moment ended in frustration as Indiana dropped to a tough 2-2 record in one of the most pivotal moments of their season. A missed call on Clark's final play turned potential into heartbreak.
The refs messed up 3 calls in the last 3 possessions of this game. First, DeWanna Bonner gets absolutely destroyed, no call.
But that missed call on Caitlin Clark wasn't the only controversial moment in the final stretch. Just 2 plays earlier, officials overlooked a blatant foul on Dana Bonner, who was hacked hard on a wide-open layup attempt. The contact clearly altered her shot, yet no whistle blew, costing the Fever a crucial scoring opportunity. To make matters worse, on the very next possession, Lexi Hull was called for a phantom foul on Sabrina Ionescu. Hull was in perfect defensive position, hands up, feet set, no reaching or grabbing. Yet the refs still blew the whistle. These back-to-back officiating errors completely shifted the momentum and left the Fever scrambling.
And then Sabrina Ionescu makes the contact.
Meanwhile, the Fever were getting no calls, despite far more obvious contact on their end. The foul called on Lexi Hull was minimal at best, yet it earned a whistle. While moments earlier, Bonner was clearly hammered on a layup with no call, and those 2 free throws from Ionescu, they ended up being the game winners. Points that never should have happened if the officiating had been consistent.
And this is the worst one. There's 1 foul. There's 2 fouls. Then she holds her, watch this, with her shoulder and on her arm when she follows through and then fouls her for the 4th time on her arm. It's cheating. It's plain as day. The haters will say, she got locked up. Yeah, if you're fouling the whole game. But I'm going through this entire game. The corrupt refs gave this game to New York and they still barely won.
And 3 critical calls, or lack thereof, in the final seconds and completely altered the outcome of the game for the Fever. First, there was the missed foul on Bonner that should have put Indiana ahead. Then came a phantom foul on Hull, gifting the Liberty 2 free throws and the lead. Finally, there was the no call on Caitlin Clark's drive that should have sent her to the line to tie the game. Indiana deserved for this game to be decided by skill and execution, not by refs who swallowed their whistles when it mattered most. These are the exact moments that fans point to as undeniable evidence of officiating bias. In a game this tight, you simply can't afford officiating to be this inconsistent.
Coach, you talked about the way that the game has been officiated for you guys. How did you see the foul that was not called, or a lack of foul, on the Bonner play, and then follow it up by Lexi Hull getting called for the foul?
I thought it was egregious, honestly. I mean, I thought it was obvious. I felt like AB got one, had one going to the rim. They're in rotation. DB's was crazy. And, you know, and in Lexi's, I felt like equally, you know, we talk about, you know, coming into the path, and it was an offensive player veering into the defensive player's path. So, I mean, it is what it is. We have to be able to play through it. But at the same time, I feel like it's really disrespectful.